Marhaba, my name is Bilal, and today I want to show you how to make some Za'atar Flatbreads, or as we call them in Syria, Manakeish. First we want to start with our dough, so we'll just start with some flour, a little bit of salt, a little bit of yeast, some olive oil. We're going to add some powdered milk or dry milk solids. And what that's going to do is that's going to add a little bit of sugar to the bread. It's going to let it brown a little bit easier, and it's going to keep it a little bit softer. To that, we're just going to add some warm water and go ahead and mix. If you find your dough is too sticky, just add a little bit more flour. Once your dough comes together, you can go ahead and begin kneading it. You want to cover this tightly with plastic wrap or a damp towel and let it rise in a warm place in your kitchen for about 2 hours until it's doubled in size. So you want to flour your surface. Just grab your trusty roller. The thicker you make it, the longer it'll take to cook and the more likely it'll dry out, which is what our milk solids are trying to combat. What we're looking for in our texture is we're looking for something that is a little bit crisp on the outside, a little bit of browning going on, but on the inside is still soft and fluffy, okay? Once you've done that, you can make little divots in the bread with your fingers. And these divots will kind of do two things. One, they'll stop it from puffing up too much. The other thing mainly is it's going to create these little wells for our toppings. I have several things we can top the manakeish with. The most popular one is Za'atar, and Za'atar is the name of two things in Arabic. One is the Za'atar herb itself, which is what we call in English thyme. The other is the Za'atar blend, which is you take that Za'atar herb and you mix it with things like sumac or sesame seeds. And I have that here. You can see some of the sesame seeds in there. You can see it's ground quite finely, all the other ingredients. But it makes this sort of nice, very earthy spice blend. Okay, so all we're going to do is we're going to take that and mix it with olive oil. Now the olive oil you want to use is a good tasting olive oil. You can go ahead and just add a little. Leave it a little bit of a crust, but not too much. And transfer that right on, and you're ready to go. The second most popular type of manakeish are the cheese manakeish. In Arabic, we say esh awan in Syria. Is quite a nice, delicious cheese. It's a sheep's cheese. You can find this in any international grocer near you. The other kind of cheese that you can put on there is what we call in Arabic Akawi cheese. This is a very salty cheese. It's a little crumbly, but it's got a nice fresh flavor. So that crumbles very nicely and it's pretty much ready to go right there. You can add, grab a little bit of parsley. Maybe a touch more. Okay. So adding that parsley in with the Akawi cheese or any type of white cheese you like really just takes it to another level. Now, the Kashkaval cheese, the Eshkalan cheese, is not going to crumble like this one is. So you're gonna want to grab your box grater and just grate a little bit of that off. Be generous with the cheese. Right, so let's stick this in the 550-degree oven. Hey Google, set a timer for 4.5 minutes. So here are the results of cooking manakeish in kind of various ways in our oven. This one here, I cooked it at 350 degrees for around 10 minutes. You can see the crust is a little pale. It's still quite soft. On the bottom, it is also quite pale as well. Okay, crust is rather pale. I mean, these taste alright. These taste great. You know, 350-degree oven. That's kind of your standard cooking temperature. That's kind of what your manakeish are going to come out like. It puffs a little bit. It's soft. It tastes great. This one I think I overcooked just a little bit. Also put a little too much za'atar on, but you can see the crust is has a nice, much more golden color, much more brown color, right? This brown spot will taste a lot better. It's a little crispier on the outside, but it's still quite soft when we flex it. On the bottom, you also see much better color than you do on this one. So this one's gonna taste quite a bit better. Now lastly here, I have this one which I cooked on a pizza steel. You can see it's really puffed up, and that's the real difference. You're getting this instant, strong heat transfer to the bread that really puffs it up, and you got this really gorgeous color on the bottom that really takes it up to another level. So here's what our cheese Manakeish looks like. As soon as we grab it out of the oven, this was cooked at 550 degrees. This is kind of what you'd expect by cooking it at such a high temperature. It was only in the oven for 5 minutes, but we got some nice browning on the bottom. We got some nice bubbling on the top. And if I slice this in half here, if I take a bite out of this, it's probably too hot to bite. Real good. Real good. Yeah. That's good. This is my childhood right here. Parsley with that cheese just really takes it to another level that I would have never expected. Please try this at home. Tell me in the comments below how they turned out, how they taste, and what other toppings do you put on your Manakeish? I know in some countries they like to put tomatoes and onions on there. What do you like to put? Let me know. Hey Google, set a timer for 5.5 minutes. All right, so here we have our beautiful Kashkaval Cheese that just came out of the oven. Pop that down right there. As you can see, it's nice and brown on the outside. The cheese is bubbled up. It's crisped up a little bit. The bottom got these nice little brown spots on there as well. That's kind of exactly what we're looking for. It's a little bit crunchy on the outside, a little bit crispy on the outside, a little bit brown on the outside, but still nice and soft and flexible in the middle. Let's see if we can get the sound of the crispy cheese on camera. And the bottom, crust. Let's take a bite. I hope you could hear the crunch as I bit into that. The inside is still soft. It's warm. The cheese, the Kashkaval cheese, the Kashkaval has quite a strong, almost like a, I don't know how to describe it, like a nutty, sharp flavor. It's quite delicious. Really good. That's a little more attractive presentation, right? Right, here we have our Akawi and parsley Manakeesh that just came out of the oven. Now, this one, I cooked it on the pizza stove. You can see it's puffed up quite a bit more compared to this Kashkaval cheese one. This was cooked at 550 for around 6 minutes. This was cooked on a pizza steel, also around 550, but the steel transfers heat to the dough so quickly. This was only cooked for about 3 minutes. There we go. So on the inside, it's a lot thicker than this one. I use about the same amount of dough in each, but this one is just puffed up because of that nice quick heat that comes in from the pizza steel. This one is puffed up a lot more. The top are similar, right? The tops are similar, but the bottoms is where we see sort of a remarkable and stark difference. If you can, do try to get a pizza steel. I'll leave a link down in the comments below where you can find a pizza steel on Amazon. They're well worth the investment. Anyways, Za'atar. Yep. This is my breakfast and my lunch. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Let me know down in the comments below, which type of Manakeish do you prefer? Would you like to cook it in the 550 degree oven, or do you like the one that comes off the pizza steel better? Which will remind you more of the Manakeish that you've had before? Let me know.